Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to our weekly market outlook for the week starting July 2026. Okay, so today we will be taking a look at some trade opportunities we can spot for the week and how we can potentially look to set ourselves up for some good opportunities. So beginning, we're going to just quickly run through the expected forex factory fundamental reports. And so on the just so more would filter this out so that we can only pay attention to medium to high impact news. That way we don't get confused by too many noise. So today being Monday, the only kind of significant news event is this one that is already out already. So the German business info climate, which came out worse than expected. So not so good for the euro. Then on Tuesday, we also have the consumer confidence reports for US. So Tuesday, not so much effect, not so much news reports. But on Wednesday, we have some key fundamental metrics to pay attention to, both on the Aussie and also on the USD. Right. So the FOMC statement is going to be today. So this Wednesday is going to be quite significant because of these three reports. So you want to keep close eye on them. The FOMC statements I usually have has a habit of causing the dollar to react quite quite well one way or the other. So you want to pay attention to that. And then on Thursday, not so much. On Friday as well, not so much. So we have a relatively, medium week when it comes to the news or the fundamentals. Remember, we're not actually looking at these three fundamentals, but just pay attention to the times where we probably might just stay with market stuff like that. Okay. Now, so we'll move over to some of the instruments that we could potentially be looking to trade for the week, and we'll start off with looking at NZD-JPY. So NZD-JPY is an interesting one. So if we start off looking at the daily charts here, you see that we're in a bullish market. So we're in a bullish market, and what we like to do is keep looking for buying opportunities in the bullish market. And now, even though it appears that we might be looking like we're slowing down, I still like the idea of this thing going higher. There's targets all the way up here. Those areas there could potentially serve as liquidity. Even this highs here could also potentially be target liquidity where price really wants to go. Okay. So I was looking at this, and within the inside structure of this, I actually quite fancy the idea of looking for a buy setup, right? So notice here that we'll be going down. So lower lows, lower highs is the 1 hour chart. Then up until this point, we actually this is where we now appear to have broken above, make a new high. And so you can see it making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower low, lower high, and a lower low. And then right now we have then proceeded to make a new high, a new high. This candle here being the candle that broke the camel's back. But in doing so, we also this price to the upside, breaking structure. So I'm looking for some reason to buy. I want to see price, drop down into regions like this, and then look for buying opportunities to go long. So my overall target should be this high here. My target entry area is just around here, and I'm trying to see how to take advantage of them. So how am I looking to trade this precisely, or how am I looking to trade this precisely? I will be sending out the setup on the group as well if I find a good setup. So looking at this, if we drop down to the 15-minute chart here, you see that break of structure, which also one thing I like about this is the fact that to see this temporary high, we also have broken above it, so that is good. And then you see clearly how. Samachiko, why do you keep on using your mic? You're disturbing us, please. Mute your mic. You see how we've broken out above this height, and I like that. So any pullbacks into this zone would serve as a good trade setup. If I find confirmation to can buy this thing and go after those high prices. Now, obviously, if I get into position, I would be definitely looking to manage my position if price begins to move weak. Okay, so keep that one in mind. A good setup might materialize, might not materialize, but right now I'm looking for bullish continuation on this one. Okay, so trade idea would be something like this. Stop loss just below this lows here. My overall target will be much higher highs, but I'll definitely take partials along the way. Now we'll then look at the DXY. I think we're actually start to look at the dollar index, which measures the strength of the dollar against the major baskets. And then like I mentioned this one last week. I did talk about this last week that we could see, I'm still bullish on this one, but we could see some drops into this area.
The inverse down thrust is the inverse bullish pinball.
I would be looking to I'll be looking to continue buying, not necessarily buying ZXY, but we could see continuous bullish trend on the dollar. But like I mentioned last week, we could see this thing try and drop down to close this imbalance here that price has left, and then take off to the next level. So the dollar is still very strong. I don't want to bet against the dollar getting weak, as I would like to find a way to continue to bet on dollar strength. Okay. Now, so going into the week, especially like we're going to have the FOMC week, we could see this drop and then continue. But if we manage to drop and break lows, so if we manage to drop and break this lows, we could see further downward movement, right? So that's what I'm not anticipating a break. I'm anticipating, maybe Tuesday, between today and Tuesday, we drop into the zone, and then maybe FOMC serves as, confirmation or incentive for buyers to step in and take price up. Okay. Now, so that said, means basically for the week two as well, Euro USD should be more like a sell opportunity because the stronger dollar would make a weaker, lower prices in Euro USD. So just like the dollar index, remember the dollar index just drew out now. We just drew out the dollar index idea now. So the dollar index looks something like this, where price has been going up and then marked up, and then we appear to be coming back down. And I said I'd like to see if I can get into something a zone like this, and then look for opportunities to buy, and not necessarily buy the dollar index, but start to see dollar strength. Now, the dollar index is inversely correlated to euro dollar. And you can see it's the opposite, where price has been going down, based on the strong dollar. And so you're seeing how also kind of falls into place where we might expect this to maybe come up here and then continue going down. So on euro dollar, I'm long term, I'm still continuously overall bearish, still looking for the downside, looking for price continue to target liquidities at the bottom because price has been delivering lower. Now there might be a case, for a short-term trade from within this zone, which I actually try to take advantage of from within this zone, try and go up here before maybe taking this trade down. So that would be, intermediate trade before the actual setup. Now, if we drop down, drop down into the 1 hour chart here, you see that we did get, I think I sent out this one, we talked about, I talked about it on the on one of our continuous classes from this area. No, I think I sent it out. And you can see how price starts into that area and it's bouncing off. Now, I would like to see this thing break this high. So you can see this high here, because remember, we're looking at the bearish market, right? So just because we're looking at the bearish market here, I'd like to see, to look for continuous movement. The best time to enter would have been here, at least you have partial out and to move your stop loss to break even. But right now, what I would like to see here is something of the sort. Now remember, so the German manufacturing index that we took when that came out by 9 p.m. came out worse than expected. So we could see it became euro as well. So, but for this, what I would like to see if I'm going to be looking for opportunities to, look for short-term scalps to get this thing off before looking for that continuous move down, I would like to see price break this high. So you see this high here. I'd like to see price take out this high. And then if we pull back into a zone like this, I'll be looking to buy this confirmation, start looking for get price up. And the moment we get there, look for opportunities to sell and take it back down. So that would be the way I'll be looking to lead this trade based on the way price is delivering. But right now, I would want to see price, clear this highs, clear this high. If price take out those two highs and drops back down, I'll look to try to pick it up. Okay. So we go over to euro. Let's look at euro. No, pause on this one. Okay, it wasn't this one. These ones are not, the trades are not still setting up quite properly. EURUSD overall, I'm still looking to see if we can get a reason. I'm not in this trade yet. I'm still looking to see if we can get a reason to buy this thing, find confirmation, take it up here, so then eventually sell. But for now, this one is not short. There's no real reason to look. Now, GBPUSD, the next one we also talk about. A couple of things, I see here that kind of might begin to attract attention. So you notice, you'll see that you could spot something like this. The trend line, however, it's in your to draw that trend line, price appears to be breaking above it. Right now, overall, long term, this price is still bearish. The market is still bearish overall on this one. But we could still potentially find some bullish setup if the market gives us something, right? If the market gives us something, we could actually find a bullish setup into this one to maybe see if we can get price to pull back into some of the deeper retracement levels. Now, so if we let's drop down further, and so I highlighted this brief of structure, so market actually run the liquidity we were talking about, and that was fine. And now we have this brief of structure to the upside, and again, I think let's see, we have also appeared to break this as well to the upside. So it appears the market, is interested in pushing up, maybe temporarily, but the market appears pushing up. You see how it's bouncing off from that trend line. Their prices reacted from that trend line there, which is good to see. So right now, what you could this might be a straight setup that plays out, today, today, if price drops into this zone, so this is the 1 hour chart, drop down into the 15-minute chart like this, you can even refine this even further. So if price drops into this area, which is appearing to do, so you might actually look to, dollar cost average on this one, where I like the idea of looking for buys here, but price might drop in deeper. So maybe if you want to, you might split up your position into 2 or 3 parts. You take a first trade here, take a second trade halfway point, maybe take a third trade down here, and then your stop loss could be just below here if you're aggressive, or you could simply just allow price drop into this region, and then if price confirms this confirmation on the smaller time frame, you could actually look to buy your stop loss just below that area and take this up. So this is a good setup that we could most likely see something play out on this one. So see in the market if the market starts to react. So I like this fact about leaving some sort of imbalances there that could also serve as grab for the future. So if price drops down here and maybe rejects it and maybe come back to it, and then we start to see some sort of white curve accumulation that could serve as potential trade to then take this higher. Now, where would the targets, where would the overall target on this one be? So obviously primary targets would be this highs. That would be primary targets. But then we would also have secondary target areas like highs just above it, what do you call it? The highs just above it, trying to run this areas. Now, if price gets up into this zone, so let's say we see a good setup, a good opportunity, and we manage to get into a trade, and maybe do something like this. The overall target would be somewhere like, for me, would be somewhere like this. Now, sure, I'll allow some of the trades to keep running, but that's at that point I would look to, take out most of my trade and maybe just stop the rest of the movement. But first, I would like to see price area, find some reaction, and then start to participate. Okay. Then we also would let's look at some dollar pairs. I remember if you want me to look at any particular instrument, I'll think about just a few of them. If you just simply type that into the chat box, and come back and review them, right? If you want me to look at any instruments, type that in. Okay, so dollar card. So dollar card, I'm still where I am with this one. I'll still like to see maybe it drops down deeper, and then maybe look for a reason to buy it up, because I'll actually like to buy this one. And let's see, there might be some sort of setup here. Okay. So actually, kind of like this one. Right. So this is the 15-minute chart of USD as a dollar card. And with the way price is reacting here now, if we continue to drop down and we get into this region, maybe look for a trend line break, or watch for a price action rejection candlestick here, or maybe even a spike of accumulation to then look to take this thing higher. That is something I'll be looking for. I think I like this one. We just watch to see if price drops down here, and then we look to see if we get the follow through reversal to come after it. Now, if that doesn't happen and price drops deeper, it's still fine, but we'll wait for another setup. But I like this one as well. Just as I like the GBPUSD, we could drop zip before getting this reversal. Now, this is the 15-minute chart, so if this wants to play out, we could see it play out today. Probably before before 12, before 4 or something, before the next New York session. If we drop down into this area and form sort of a trend line angle, maybe with some Y-core distribution or accumulation, we could see this thing, react from here and try and buy this thing up. I will be looking out for this one as well. And then if we get a tweet set up, I'll try and see if I can send it out as well. Okay. Now, we'll also look at gold. So gold, now this is beautiful in terms of what we talked about and we're expecting price. So I talked about this one for a couple of weeks now, and I said market really appears to want to get here. And as it stands, I still think it would still want to come back and grab this liquidity. Now, there is overall, if you zoom out a little bit, you see that long term is still bullish. But in coming back to gather positions or gather, we could see price react from here, just as it's already done. You can see how we have this big bullish engulfing candle with prices then reacting from. And I feel what we could experience now is price to then mark up. So we could see this kind of markup. And if price is really interested in going down, it will then continue to go down. But if we start to break higher, then it would appear that the bulls have come back and find considerable support or demand area, and we start to see this markup, right? But for now, what I would like to try and find a way to do is to actually find a way to trade this thing up, right? Then look for a reason to sell. So, but I would want to see a clear trade idea. Let's look at the 4-hour chart. So the 4-hour chart is not yet looking bullish. 4-hour chart is not yet looking bullish. It's taking out this high, but we still need to clear these highs if there is going to be hope for buyers. We left a big imbalance here. I'm actually trying to look for a sell. Okay, so two things, or there's two things to kind of that we could try and play here. We look for a short-term trade to sell, and then maybe see if we can get into a long-term buy. So I like the idea of actually looking to sell this thing from here, and I like that idea of looking to short this thing from here, and then stop loss just above there, and try and run this thing down, maybe even deeper actually, maybe even zipper, right? In which case, so this could be a good setup, right? I'll keep this one in mind as well. But I would want to see confirmation on this one. I wouldn't want to pick ending order. I would like to see some sort of price confirmation within here, and then look to sell this. And obviously, if price begins to move, I will be taking parcels at intervals, probably once we have the structural shift again and move my stop loss. So keep this one in mind. This is 5-minute chart for gold. We could see price head up here, and then we could sell this thing down. Now, remember, we initially were looking for a buy trade on this, and one of the reasons I like this sell trade is kind of leads into the buy trade. I would like to, we could see a push back down. We could look to see a push back down, before the continuation bullish. So we might look, that's what we're trying to do, see if we can maybe treat the reversal before the continuation, so that in case, and it's possible if price doesn't want to continue, it could just continue to break down. So I like this one. I'll keep those areas in mind. The 5 minutes, 15 minutes setup is quite okay. I mean, the pull back up here looks to sell and try and take price lower on this one. So let me just okay. Now, so I just mentioned if you want me to look at any particular instruments, you just quickly point that out. If you also look at this. Okay, so BTC, like we also talked about this one, price breaking out of this trend line. You can see how that trend line has served for quite some time back in April. They had resistance, they had it serve as resistance, also had serve as resistance back in May, and also again in June, and now in July we are appearing to break out of it. So I also did mention the fact that we see price pull back to it and then continue higher. So right now we appear to be pulling back, so we can see, and the way it's looking, we could see further drops maybe before we start to see price mark up in this one. So let me even look at this for our chart here. We could begin to see some sort of movement, and so you notice what price is doing here now. Started making a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, now a lower low. So we could potentially do this to something like this, where we actually maybe start matching up back. So watch for break of structure to the upside where the market shifts and start looking bullish, and that could be the start of where we start to see that movement. Could also very well dip down to come back to the test trend line, but the structural shift is going to be important if price really wants to go. Okay. There are some other pairs, but they are not, that I could talk about, but they are not yet setting up quite nicely. And AUDCAD, I talked about this one again on Tuesday, I think on Tuesday or Wednesday in our opportunities class. I still like this one. I still like the idea of looking for sale on this one. You can see my we tried to get involved in a buy, but price did not pull back down. So we initially tried to see if we could get involved in this buy to then sell. For see what price did. It didn't come up, it didn't come down to the area we were looking at, and price has then gone up. So we're no longer looking for this buy. Right now we'll be looking for the potential sell. So from where we are right now, what I would like to see or like to start seeing from price is some sort of reaction. So notice how actually more than just the reaction, I want to start seeing structural shift. So notice how price is making lower lows, sorry, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, up into this area. We've made a new higher low, and we've also appeared to take out new high. So what I'd like to see is maybe price reacts, just stalls here, and then maybe breaks down. Then we'll start looking for that sell, right? So um, overall on this one, I like the idea of selling this thing from this area here to then look to take price significantly lower. So if you go to the daily chart, you'll see that we are in a very bearish market. The market has been bearish, and it's most likely going to continue to stay bearish down towards this area. So I like the idea of looking for sell opportunities within the area we are now. I just want to see confirmation, maybe a theme bar and got bearish engulfing, maybe some sort of trend line breaks on a smaller time frame on the 1 hour chart. You know, you could very well have something of this nature where you could draw out the trend line and just see if price breaks it, right? So if price breaks the trend line, that could serve as the confirmation and start to put in a new low. I would want to see price reaction. Maybe we get an even deeper retracement into this red area before going down. Okay, so I like this one. It just needs to set up properly before we start looking for that next trade on it. Okay, so we have run through a number of instruments. I think about 7 of them that we could potentially start looking for trade ideas on, or trade setup on. EURUSD was a nice trade, a nice setup. Price pull back into an area and has rejected. I think it was I think it was so right now on this one, I also like the idea of looking for sales, right? So price keeps coming back up and pull back up towards this red zone. I would also be looking for a reason to sell this, like sell it, and continue the movement down. The euro has been weak, for a lot of reasons, and well, the market could just, in all honesty, could just continue to stay weak, right? So I'll keep this one in mind, and I would want to see how that one plays out, okay, for us during the week, and then look for a potential trade. So now, USD JPY, one trade that I've been, extremely bullish on for a long time, and keeps delivering bullish. Is also at an interesting area. So if we look at this, here, it's it's possible we start looking for continuation bullish, because the market is considerably has been overstretched. Yeah, but it doesn't really mean much. The market wants to keep going up. It will stay bullish longer. The market can stay bullish longer than it can, stay irrational longer than you can stay liquid. So which is why I like to look for opportunities in the direction of the trend. So let's see if we can start to look for that setup. So keep this area in mind, this area here, like so. If price were to break above it, right? So if we see price break above it, look for the opportunity to buy on the retracement and still look down time, right? So if price were to close above it, look for opportunities to buy the retracement and look to take out those highs. The market has been bullish and is most likely, will continue to stay bullish. I know most people are trying to force sales on this one, but the market has its own funny way of acting. In times like this, you could see, I'm sure a lot of people try to force sales here, and it just keeps going off. And I'm sure a lot of people also try to force. We also got into a very good trade here on this one from a few weeks ago, and I still have part of those positions open active from a few weeks ago, and lost more position from it from there. So if we break that inside structure, that 1 hour area, break it higher, look for a retracement to then take it high up. The target, our target on this one would be this high, because price appears to be taking out high. So anytime price makes a new high, it just comes back and takes it out. It makes a new high, comes and takes it out. Anytime it makes a new high, it comes out, pick it out. A new high, pick it out. And now we have a new high, so maybe we come up and we take it out, and we just keep looking to buy this thing until the market actually spikes tired of going up. It could be now, the market could actually, it could be now that the market is setting up for continuous reversal, in which case, okay, it's all fine. But as it stands, I'm still looking for reasons to keep buying this thing. Once you break out also those highs, I like the idea of looking for that buy setup, on this instrument. So if price breaks this highs, I'll be looking to buy on this one. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody. This is the most time we'll be able to speak for today. I hope you're able to gather of you got a thing or two, and I hope you enjoyed the class. If you're watching this on YouTube, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and also leave comments. And then I hope you guys all enjoy the class, and I hope you have an exciting day ahead.